of afterlife. Beautiful. How are you? Exciting times in America and for the rest of the world, I think. Well, you certainly voted, um, which is a good thing, of course. Uh, where are you watching this from? Let me know. Is this working? It seems to be working. I've had gigs cancelled. I could just be talking to myself again. Um, uh, just say my eyesight is obviously. You're saying hello and all that. Where are you stressed, upset? It's not over yet. What are you upset about? I don't know. Whose side you're on? Um, going slightly mad. Crazy in the US. Someone from Hampstead. That's down the road. Vancouver, Montana, Devon, Chicago, Liverpool, Turkey, Bournemouth, Liverpool, two for Liverpool, Liverpool in the lead, Philadelphia, Ireland, Toronto, Texas. Um, Good. Right, let's kick off. Forget the pandemic, forget the election, forget all natural disasters, forget that we're a dying species on a dying planet, circling a dying sun. Let's get to the important stuff. This is from Tiana. Thoughts on the existence of slugs? It's a good question. I have got thoughts on the existence of slugs, and I'm all for it. Um, Slugs. Well, they're. What can I tell you about slugs? They're mollusks, for more specifically, gastropods, which I think means stomach-footed. They're basically a thing that's a foot with a stomach. They basically eat and then move, and that's it. Um, they're about. When I say they're mollusks and more specifically gastropods, it goes phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, and so that's all the branches. You start off with you start off with a kingdom. They're animals, and then it's the phylum, and then the phylum has different classes, and each class has different orders. Phylum, class, order, family, genus, and then species, and that's a specific. Um, and there are five to tens of millions of species. Um, but yeah, so the uh, the phylum is mollusks, means soft-bodied. You got slugs, snails, sea slugs, um, octopus, and then you got uh, gastropods, um, as which are slugs and snails. And I think snails came first. They're about 150 million years old, right? So they've been around for a long time. They haven't changed much. But slugs evolved from uh, snails. They lost their shell. They had their shell first, and then they've still got a little residue cell inside. If you opened up a slug, which I don't know why you would, a lot of people think a slug is just a homeless snail. It's not. It's an evolved, like rather like the slow worm isn't a snake, it's a lizard, and it lost its legs. It didn't need them. He goes, it said, listen, I'll be honest, I do a lot of burrowing, and the legs get in the way, right? So I'll lose them, be more like a snake. And some snails obviously went, I don't need this shell, I want to get into places, I'll lose the shell. Um, I think the shell was more important in the early days of being a slug, like 150 million years ago. It sort of protects you from stuff. But then as soon as like elephants came along, I'll be honest, this shell doesn't do a lot. This shell doesn't do a lot against a mammoth. I'd rather be a slug. I'd rather be free. Um, so that's what I think of slugs, and they're basically food for every every vertebrate, type of vertebrate, the birds, lizards, mammal, just everything eats the slug. The slug is basically food. It just eats plants. It knows its place. That's all I know about slugs. Good luck to them. Freya says, we all know you're a huge dog lover. What is your favourite breed of dog? Oh, that's so difficult. My favourite breed of dog is the last one I've seen. Um, Listen, I love the classics. I just don't think you can beat a beautiful retriever or a big old Labrador. But then you start mixing them up because it's selective breeding, isn't it? A dog is a dog. And I saw a dog the other day that was half German Shepherd, half Labrador. Amazing. The ears didn't know what to do because the Alsatian was going, let's do that, and the Labrador was going, let's do that, and so they sort of met in the middle. So I do notice the ears on a dog first. Listen. I just love all dogs. I love every breed of dog. I love a dog that likes me. I can't stand if a dog ignores me. I go, hello. He goes, yeah, whatever. I go, So I love some dogs are a bit too task orientated. They look at the ball, or I want a dog that loves me, or at least it looks like it loves me, even if it's just going, feed me. I don't care. But I do like a big old mixed up mongrel rescue. I honestly, I love all dogs. Claire, I hope your gig went well last night. It did. It was great. It was emotional because everyone knew it was the last night before lockdown, and I was going to do more. But it was great, and I know the new show's going well now, so that was nice to get a couple in and work on it. But it was great. Do you get heckled much on stage, and what's your strategy for dealing with hecklers? Do you just ignore them, or have come back? I don't. I ignore them. Do you know what? I don't get heckled. No, I think I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I think it's rarer anyway in really big shows because they know you can't really hear them. So I think that usually happens in sort of clubs and comedy clubs and pub. There's more of a culture of that. There's no point in shouting from the back of an arena. And if you're at the front, you've paid too much. You don't want to ruin the show. It's so rare. I think I've had a couple of people shout out, and the whole of the tour, and even that's usually something like, "We love you, Ricky." I mean, you don't need to deal with it, but you should ignore them because and it's usually early on as you walk out. So no, I don't. I remember on Humanity, there's a bit where I'm talking about not having kids, and I'm in the middle of it, and I'm getting angry about this mythical child, and someone shouted something, and what? He said, it's a waste of a life. And I went, it put me off, I went, shut up, you cunt. Like that, right? And the audience sort of laughed, and I got on with it. And then as I was carrying on, my subconscious worked out that actually he was sort of complimenting me, like he was sort of saying, oh, that's a way, you should have kids, you'd be a good dad. And then I did the routine, and then I went to get a drink, and 10 minutes I said, sorry mate, when you shouted that, were you saying, he went, yeah. I went, oh, sorry for calling you a cunt. But it's sort of, I didn't want it to be an unjustified put down, because he was just a bit pissed and he was being nice. So I felt really guilty about putting him down. And it sort of preyed on my mind. And sometimes heckles will be nice, so you just got to judge it. But I think if it's just ignore it, and they feel like a twat, and you move on. Because there's a certain part of a heckler that wants to be noticed. They sort of want to be part of the show, like a troll. They want you to. If you ignore them, they don't exist. Depending. I mean, if they were consistent, you've got to deal with it. But it just doesn't happen at my gigs. It doesn't happen at theatre gigs. It doesn't happen at arena gigs. It happens, when they're having a drink at a table in a club, I think. Ollie comic strip. If you met your 40 years younger self, what would you like about him? Or is it her? And what wouldn't you like? What would your younger self like about you, and what wouldn't he like? Apart from all the fat. Unbelievable. So what would my late 50s fat, grizzled, old, lazy, rich person think about my 20-year-old struggling, skinny, enthusiastic self? I don't know. I think I was all right. I'd probably say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Don't. But then it happened, so he was fine. What would he like about me? I don't know. He'd probably, if he knew it was me, he'd be shocked that he lived that long and was that fat. He'd go, I didn't know you could be that fat and still be alive at that age. I go, yeah, the medicine's amazing. The medicine's amazing in 40 years, mate. Have another drink. Don't worry about it. It's tough, that question, isn't it? Gunnar, you see a report on the news that you've died in a freak accident. It never ends well, does it? These questions for me. So I see on the news that there's a report that I'm dead. Do you call everyone right away or watch it play out? Well, I suppose, what would be the first thing I'd do? I suppose I'd have to call immediate family, wouldn't I? And then what I'd do is, I'd replay it on the news, tape it and tweet it. Tape the news that I died. Oh God, it's a funny question. That's happened to a few people, isn't it, when they do that fake trends on Twitter. R.I.P. Maybe, what if I thought it was real? What if it's like one of those horror films when you're watching it on the news and you go, I'm not dead, and you look round and Jane's crying over my body and I am dead, I'm a ghost. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, I like things like that, but the build-up's too much, isn't it? Those films when it's like a shock ending, you think, well, yeah, but that took 90 minutes. just tweet the twist. I love a good horror film, but they're rare, aren't they? There's so few good horror films. Lots of things ruin a horror film for me. The first one is not taking it seriously. If I think that the director's got a wry sense of humour, that annoys me. I go, well, don't do it then. Don't do a spoof horror film, or don't try and get away with both. Don't sort of undermine the cliche, because it ruins the tension. Just I want a sincere horror film that's fucking scary and horrible, and I want someone who's trying to make the audience fucking terrified. I don't want to try and make me laugh. I, um, uh, I like something psychological. I really like something psychological. Something that's just the tension. I did when I was growing up. I liked things like vampire films and zombies. Zombies were stressful because it was never ending. Like I like the zombie trilogy and yeah, just opening a lift and they all come in. Like, oh fucking hell! Oh, that's too much. Um, but now things like that don't make me. I'm not scared of that. Just something psychological. Just a face at a window is still good, isn't it? That's really good. A face at a window is still good. The bathroom mirror cliche. It's good. Oh, good. Clean your teeth. Look down. Look up. That's always a good one. um, right. What's So yeah, I would call immediate family gunner. Um, what if they hadn't watched the news and I called them and I said I'm not dead, and they go what? I'm not dead. Well, all right. Cheers. Bye. Bella. Bella the Whippet. On a good day, how many pigeons do you think you could catch? No, I'm not fast enough to catch a pigeon, Bella. I've uh, I've saved a few pigeons in my time. Once, right, we're in New York and it was like December. It was freezing, and there was a pigeon just on the pavement, and people sort of like walked past, and I went to it and it didn't move. I thought, oh fucking hell! I picked it up, and we were walking home, and it was. I carried it for about 25 minutes like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And then it sort of wriggled and just flew off. I think it had like just knocked its head or something. I just thought, fucking hell. And then it came to. So that one was easy to catch. A fat stunned pigeon is really easy to catch. But no, I'll be honest. I don't think many people can catch a pigeon. They're pretty cool customers. Always leave it like when I'm in a car and they're sort of pegging something, and the car. I think we've hit it, and it goes. Oh, it just leaves to the last minute. They're clever little things. Um, right, here we go. Here he is. It's Rupert. Uncle, have you ever had any DIY home improvement disasters? Like my idiot mum, who, when her and dad lived in a flat, decided to decorate the lounge and wanted the bottom half of the walls papered and the top half painted. She decided, whilst dad was at work and after some wine, to help speed things up. So she measured a piece of wallpaper, cut it to size, then proceeded to cut the rest of the roll to that size. Only thing was, the walls were out. The walls were out. The walls weren't out. The walls were out. And so, uh, not even, and was left with pieces cut way too short. Um, I wouldn't know where to start with wallpapering. I just didn't know where to start. I've seen it done. My mum used to do it. Fucking ladders, on fucking on chairs and planked between them. She did the stairs. I don't know if she did the stairs. Um, but no, I can't do DIY. I haven't got the patience. I just haven't got the patience to know you've got to do it. I know there's ways to do it, but I think no, I can't do all that. I did try to build some shelving once. We lived in our first sort of flat, and it was horrible, and there was nothing there. And I found 3 bits of wood in a skip, and I thought I'll make a shelf, and I had nothing to make it with. Right? I think I had a hammer and a couple of nails. So what I did was I just put the 2 bits of wood like that, and put the bit of wood on top of it, right? And I nailed them like that and put it against the wall. And as soon as I did that, it just sort of went like that because there was no. So it was like that now. There was a parallelogram just against the wall, right? Right, and By the time Jane come home, what I'd done is I'd put another nail here, tied a bit of string to it, and pulled it and nailed it in the wall. So this shelf was 3 bits of wood with a bit of string nailed in the other wall. What a fucking shambles. It was dreadful. It was fucking shit. You gotta do things properly. You can't, whoa, like me making a suit out of curtains. I think that's the worst one I've done. I'll tell you a good tip. What I used to do, I don't know where I saw it, but we used to find bits of wood and things in skips to make stuff. And I'll tell you a good tip for a shelf. If you get a nice bit of wood, bricks. Like a couple of bricks, shelf, couple of bricks, shelf. It looks really cool. But I've had a few of them. Once, I thought when I was in a band, because studio time was really expensive, rehearsal time was really expensive. I went to like a little local corner shop, and they had a basement. And I said, "Oh, can we use that to rehearse?" And I went, "Yeah." So I soundproofed it. Right, I found me and my band, we got loads of mattresses, and we put it all around the walls of this little basement. Right, but then when we came to rehearse in the summer, it was like a sauna of piss. So it was like 90 degrees down there, and all the piss in the fucking mattresses came out. And it was like, it just stank of hot piss. And so we went upstairs and said, we can't do it anymore. Fucking hell. Oh, what a disaster. So I think to answer your question, Rupert, yeah, I have had a few DIY disasters. Have I tried to fix anything else? Tried to fix a chair today in my office with sellotape. One of the things broke, so I tried to do it with sellotape. Yeah. In the end, I just swapped it out for a different chair. It's not going to work. You got to have a go, ain't you? Right. One last question. It's from Kermit. You awaken. You awaken. It's like translated from the Brothers Grimm or something, isn't it? You awaken with the mouth of an anteater and really short arms like T-Rex. So, like that, yeah? Right. You go downstairs for breakfast only to find Jane has signed you up for piano lessons. How do you cope? I could do that, couldn't I? I've got short arms, but I've got normal hands, have I? Or have I actually got... Because if I actually had the arms of T-Rex, that wouldn't be that bad, would it? Because you think that his arms short on him, but on me, they'd be all right, wouldn't they? But I'm assuming I just lean forward like that. Would my nose get in the way? If I'm trying to play the piano, I keep hitting my nose because I've got that. So I go, so I'll be honest. I think the piano lessons would be the least of my troubles. I'd come downstairs with the nose of an anteater and short arms, and I go, oh fuck, the piano lessons. That wouldn't. It wouldn't. That's a drop in the ocean, mate. Unbelievable. Well, sorry if I didn't get to your question. I sort of try and see them through the day. These questions they come in randomly, and and I try and cut and paste them so they're all in one place. And I miss some and forget some, and yeah. So sorry if I didn't get to yours, but I hope you still enjoyed it. Listening to fucking cats and dogs ask me about losing parts of my body and dying. I'm just trying to think of other DIY disasters. Once, right, when we were at school in the library, me and my mate Jack were mucking around. Right, it's meant to be reading time, right, and it was sort of like, you know what a library's like, but it was like loads of shelves and a sort of a desk behind each little partition of shelves, right, where you know you're meant to be sitting quietly. And Jack thought it'd be funny to climb up, right, and look over at me to surprise me. And he got to the top and went like that, and I looked up and laughed, and then the shelves broke, and he just went like that, right? And it was an almighty crash, and all the shelves fell on him, and the teacher came round and looked at him like that, and Jack picked up a book and went, "Have you got anything on frogs?" And the teacher went mental. Right, like the idea. He thought, I'm going to get in trouble anyway. I've got to make the most of this. I've got to go down fighting. I've got to go down laughing. Oh dear. Oh, well, there you go. That was a load of bollocks, wasn't it? I've had lots of requests from people to sponsor this, but they keep coming up with ideas. You know, really good money, but doing things, and I don't want to do anything. I just want it to be this. So, any companies, I'll do it if I can just say, this is a load of bollocks, sponsored by What's It. Thanks for the money. Here's a donation to animal charities, and then just do the normal show. I don't want to do anything but this bollocks, and So yeah, sorry about that. I wish I'd never asked now. I'm having to turn down really good money because I don't want to change this shit. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why? Why? Well, let's stay sane. Good luck with counting all the votes in America. Good luck with the lockdown in England. I'll keep you posted when things are back to normal for tickets and gigs and everything. Be nice to animals. Cheers. How do I? Hold on. Where's the thing to turn it off? It's gone. Oh no, it's still. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.